Broadcasting from the front lines of the info war, Eddie Eldorado from the Hangtown News Network, somewhere in El Dorado County, and UN-occupied America. This message goes out to the 3%ers out there and the sons and daughters of the double cross. Especially those Minnesota werewolves, timberwolves, the Arctic wolves in Minnesota. Yeah, sure, you betcha. I lived in Minnesota for quite a while. St. Cloud, Minnesota. And Ill Will Omar is from Minnesota also. And her statements that have been thrown around the fake news I got one thing to say to you, Ill Will Omar. Go back to fucking Somalia and take all your friends with you. What you did to that town, St. Cloud, total devastation. You took a nice Midwestern town and turned it into a third world shithole. I've dealt with a lot of the Somalians that were in St. Cloud, Minnesota. They got shipped in there. They got small business loans, free rent, welfare, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden we have Somalian stores, like convenience stores, showing up all over the place. I tried to go in there and purchase some stuff. And they said, no, Somalian only. You know Somalia, you can't shop here. Discrimination in my own fucking town. Ill Will Omar, an occasional kotex, you guys would be a good combination. In some other country. So all the new militia units that are forming all over the United States right now, yeah, we've been organizing and equipping and training everybody since 1990. All you new ones out there, I would highly suggest you look up Mark Cornkey Liberty Tree Radio. Look at all the videos on there about how to organize and train your militia unit. And don't use digital communications. No cell phones, no internet. If you all live within 10 miles of each other, you hand carry your messages to the field. And if you need long-range communication up to 5 miles, I would highly suggest you use a tweaked-up CB radio. Keep your messages short, to the point, 30 seconds or less. And you tell your people, we're going to broadcast at the top of the hour and the bottom of the hour, so everybody knows when to tune in to a certain channel. There's 40 channels on the CB unit, also a single sideband. So you guys in your own neighborhoods, you figure this shit out. Because when the news comes out that the Cathedral of Notre Dame was actually a terrorist attack, the shit's gonna hit the fan, man. Right now, I think the French government is denying it was a terrorist attack for one reason. There's so many Muslims in that city, they're afraid to start a civil war, because it would. Anybody wearing a turban is going to be a target. Right? Look what happened with the Charlie Hebdo attacks. Bunch of Muslims just walked in and started shooting everybody because of a fucking cartoon. Are we going to let these Muslims, radical Muslims, because not all Muslims think that way. There's a lot of Muslims that are very peaceful and they go about their own business. But the radical ones that think, I have no clue what they think, man. All I know is we saw ISIS destroy historical monuments all over Iraq and Syria. And the biggest target in Paris was the Cathedral of Notre Dame. 40 churches have been burnt down in Paris or around France. Catholic priests have been targeted and shot and killed. And just last week, one of these Muslims was sentenced for trying to blow up the cathedral. They caught him outside the cathedral with gas canisters in their car. They were going to blow it up. So when they tell us this was a construction accident, sure it was. They've been after that for a long time because of the Crusades. And if you know your history, the Crusades, the very first crusade was the Muslim invaders going into Palestine and Judea. And then the Christian armies got together and went after them. So the very first crusade was the Muslims against the Palestinians. Right? So the people in Minnesota, the werewolves, the timberwolves, those of you who know me and still live in St. Cloud, Minnesota, here's what I want you to do. On the east side of St. Cloud, Minnesota, there's a whole Muslim population. And according to the FBI, if you can believe the FBI nowadays, of course, Minnesota is a big recruiting state for Muslim terrorists. They join Al-Qaeda, etc., etc. And a lot of them live in St. Cloud. So you find out who they are, track them, and do what you need to do to control the situation. Right? No kidding. Yeah, I'm giving you time to think about it, man. Let it sink in. Minnesota is the biggest terrorist recruiting ground in the United States. Why? Why St. Cloud? Is that because they have a Black Hawk helicopter base there where they can ship all these guys out in case of a national emergency? Civil war? Are these really the soldiers? They've turned St. Cloud into a garrison for Muslim terrorists. Is that true? Well, from everything I've seen in St. Cloud, Minnesota, Ill Will Omar, your people are rude. Totally rude. You try to talk to any of them, they snub you, they ignore you, they won't answer you, and they almost spit in your face. Well, that's the thanks we get for bringing these motherfuckers in here. And I didn't bring them in, somebody did. Catholic Charities, Stearns County Social Services. Yeah, you've had your dealings with me, haven't you? In fact, the whole town of St. Cloud has had a great big dealing with me. And I'm not going to quit. Just because I don't live there anymore doesn't mean I don't have no influence over there, man. You'd be surprised who's on my side in St. Cloud, Minnesota, and Minneapolis, Burnsville, Golden Valley, Long Prairie, everywhere in Minnesota. Yeah, I built one hell of an army called the Army of the Mississippi, and now it involves the entire nation. Yeah, we're all locked and loaded, ready to go, man. But we're not going to do anything until the shooting starts. We ain't going to start the shooting. But if it does start, we will fucking handle it. This is Eddie Eldorado from the Hangtown News Network, somewhere in El Dorado County. And if you don't like what I say, don't watch my program.